Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by Living To Do's review of Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 6, called Cancun Can't Touch This. Real cute. Um, Before I get started with this review, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. Alright, so they're still on their honeymoon in Cancun, and let's talk about Claire and Cameron first. Claire and Cameron go and have a little activity. It looks like glow in the dark painting, which is kind of cute. They're in there painting, and after a while, they're starting to throw the paint on one another. The only thing I want to point out is I just thought it just looked to me that they were getting out a little aggression by throwing that paint on one another. In fact, Claire was covered paint, now that I think of it. He was really pouring it on, and I think he just had a little bit of aggression, and he was able to release it on her with this activity. I wonder if her being a therapist, would she think back on that? I don't know, maybe not. Okay, so they had a little guy and girl groups, and when Cameron went to the group with the guys, he mentioned that he's very attracted to his wife Claire, though he thinks that he's not as good of a communicator as he thought he was. Maybe that being, her being a therapist, because he's not really effectively communicating how he feels, and he's not getting nowhere with her at this point. But he is attracted to her. Um, Now, Claire is meeting with the girls, and she's getting advice from them. It seemed like she got more advice than the other girls, and it was just interesting, her being a therapist. Maybe she just wanted to talk it out, but she needed advice because I don't it doesn't seem like she sees what she's doing. She feels she's not in a good place with Cameron. They're in an awkward place, and they are. And the girls tell her that he is making an effort. He was putting his arm around her, and she didn't really notice it, or maybe she did, and maybe she just wasn't comfortable with it also. But she didn't realize it took them to tell her that he was making an effort. So later they go on a boat ride, and says he's now comfortable putting his arm around her. Though I don't think they've ever kissed outside of their wedding day. So that has yet to come. But at least it seems like their relationship is just on a better path right now. And I think that's a change of attitude from Claire, is what I think. Okay. I mean, honestly, this whole episode, not much went on. Um, it was just, I'm happy that they're just getting along. But there's not really much to say. Not much happened. Okay, let's go on to the next couple. The next couple is Becca and Austin. And I have the least amount to say about this couple. Um, Austin met with the guys, and he spoke on his relationship, and he downplayed it. He didn't let the guys in on how great everything is going. And then when he told this to Becca, she said, she didn't want him to dim his light for anyone. If you're happy, show that you're happy. Becca told the girls when she met with them that everything's great. There's nothing to complain about. She's just basically waiting for the other shoe to fall off. The thing I'll say about Austin is when he was downplaying the relationship to the guys, a part of me thought maybe that's how he feels. He doesn't feel that it is all great. Maybe he's just giving that impression, for the cameras. Maybe her health issues are a thing. Other than that, they do seem like they're getting along great. They're always giggling, laughing. He's holding her. She's snuggling up to him. So this one is interesting. Did you really have to downplay your relationship to them? I don't know. It was just We just have to wait and see. But I really, honestly, had nothing more to say about them. Okay, so on to the next couple. Next couple is Emily and Brennan. Emily and Brennan, they go flyboarding, and that looks like so much fun. I want to try that one day. And Emily is a trooper. She does pretty good, even with her hurt hand, that swollen hand. Then she slipped and fell. Might have been in a drunken stupor. She might need shots. Take those shots from last week, all those mini shots she was taking, and take them for that hand. I'm sure she got a lot of pain. It's swollen and whatnot. Um, One thing that happened with Emily is they took I guess because her hand is hurt, her hair is matted. She has a weave in there, and it's just really matted. She just puts it in these two, like, Princess Leia balls. It's so funny. They're on a van as a group, and Claire is trying to help her untangle her weave. And Cameron he's making the most noise about it. I'm sure he's never seen anything like that. It's unusual. And her poor husband too. They get back after they had an outing with the group. They get back to their hotel, and they have to get a hairstylist to come to the room to help her, assist her in taking it out. It's so matted. It's just so matted. Uh, and her husband Brennan, he says, I have no idea what's going on. I am just being supportive. And he really was. This poor girl with her matted weave and a possibly broken arm, and her new husband has never seen anything like this. You thought things were strange in Lauren and Oren's room. This was so odd. There was so much hair talk this episode. Almost every, or this season, I should say, almost every episode, there's something about hair. Brennan is being such a good sport. Um, when they had their outing with the girls and the guys, Emily spoke on her relationship, and she says that uh, the two of them, Brennan and Emily, have not had sex yet, and that they're building a relationship. She's trying to, she's excited to find out what it feels like to be in love. She's just has a really good attitude. He says to her that, you're earning my trust. I think he likes that she's a good sport, even though her hand is messed up. She's always smiling, not complaining, and he points that out. So, and she has every right to complain. My goodness, her hand is swollen, but she's being a good sport. Now, one thing that happened when she's with the girls, they're in a pool. Well, two of the girls were sitting out of the pool, and Emily and Claire in the pool. Nevertheless, they're all talking, and she's telling them about her hand and her hair that weaves. She can't really do anything with it. She has a bad hand. She goes, it's like turning into dreads. And it was so weird how the cameraman panned the camera to Lauren for her reaction. Was that was that going too far? Was that because it's dreads? And was it like the reservation issues, talking about the reservation? Um, but her hair was truly matted, so it was just like really weird how they panned to Lauren to seem like to get a real action from her. But Emily is such a good sport. All I maybe because she's drunk and I don't know, but she's always smiling, and he is enjoying her. And she does say intelligent things. She doesn't know what it's like to be in love. That she's just waiting for that feeling, and she's just open to anything. So I mean, they're interesting. I didn't think she'd be interesting, but she's interesting. But there's not really much more to say about them. So on to the last couple. The last couple will be Lauren and Oren. Okay, so this couple, they started off by showing us Lauren, and she's telling us that she slept away from Oren after their conversation about a Redskin and Indian issue last week. So she just thought she'd, spend a little time away from him. And then they took an outing to, I don't know what you call those caves with the water in it. Uh, I really liked that. I just want to try that one time going in one of those caves. Can't think of what you call it though. And they got a little close where they got to talking. And she says it's nice to take a little time off the resort. For a second there, I thought she said reservation. I'm like, oh my God, don't slip up and say that. I'm laughing, but I am. I was just like, oops. Oh my God, that could have been, she'd be sleeping by herself for the rest of the honeymoon. Anyway, anyway. So, Oren apparently, he had taken a walk that evening to get away from her and the issue because he thought he would have said something disrespectful to her. I wonder what that would have been. Um, but they cooled off and they seemed to get back on track with one another. He met with the guys and he says that Lauren is everything that he ever wanted. And Lauren met with the girls and she just explained that her issues are a little different because she is learning a new culture along with a new person. So, she has a little bit more of an uphill battle than the rest. But everybody has their own battles. I mean, Becca has her health issues, and Emily might have a drinking problem, but she hurt her hand and all this. So everybody has a little something, and so they talk about that. And they all went on a boat ride, but after the boat ride, towards the end of the show, Lauren and Oren had a dinner date. And Lauren is explaining how she kept staring at him while they were on the boat or during the day. And he said he did the same to her. And they like touching one another. They talk about sex. Now, actually, it's Lauren that's bringing this up, and she wants to know how they want to start this. And she goes, oh, well, fellatio from you. Um, well, get your wants out there, I guess. And he likes touching and kissing and things like that. And she wants to know how he feels about sex toys. And he says he has a little collection. She's like, no, not a collection. Like a red room. She goes, we can have a red room. Now, I didn't even know what a red room was. So I looked it up. It said something about prisoners and watching people get murdered. And I'm like, no, I know she couldn't have meant that. So I searched a little more. Oh my God, it's filthy. Oh my God. Look it up for yourselves. Oh, disgusting. Um, she wants to explore his body like a map. I think he's into that. He didn't have a big sex toy collection. He had about 5 toys. That's a lot, I guess. Um, and he said that the last time he had sex with someone was a year and a half ago. And then she told him, well, the last time I had sex was about 2 months ago. And he says, well, that takes sex off the table. I'm like, what? I don't know if it was the editing. I just can't imagine that you would be mad about what somebody did in their private life before they even met you. Just because you held off for whatever amount of time. I don't know if that's what really happened. If that's what they're making us to believe, that she said 2 months and apparently he's just disgusted with her and took sex off the table. That was just crazy. And then they showed the coming scenes for next week where there's an issue so bad that Pastor Cal is being called and they want to know if the marriage can be saved. And it looks like it's an issue that Oren is having. And I'm like, did it go that far? Or are they just making us believe that? I thought this is just too much. So I'm really interested to find out what really happened. Um, but that was it for now. I mean, that was the biggest scene. They had it at the end, and not really much happened. It was, one of those, which is crazy because you're on your honeymoon. You would think we'd have um, some activities, just some more excitement, but that is it. That's it for now. So I'll come back next week with episode 7. But please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. But I gotta go because I got living to do. Bye.